G'day, it's Pete here and I'm back for another featured lesson, and today I wanted to talk all about overcalls, choosing which overcall we actually want to make and what we're actually showing, what also makes a good overcall. So let's jump straight in and see what we can actually do. So for these, we'll just start with a 1 heart overcall opening bid and choosing what we want to do. So first of all, I wanted to talk about the 5 things that you might be trying to achieve when you're making an overcall. And the first one is really easy. It might be our hand. So if we think it's our hand, then we want to be overcalling to try and win the auction. On a similar note, we might just be wanting to try and compete or potentially sacrifice. So the opponents might be trying to play 2 hearts. We want to push them up, force them to play three hearts, or let us go down in whatever contract. Or we might want to be sacrificing. They might have a game in 4 hearts and we want to bid 4 spades over it, for instance, and get doubled and go down 2 or 1, which is better than them making that 4 hearts. There's a couple of other reasons, one of which is we want to encourage partner to find the correct lead, so we make a lead directing bid, because partner often leads the suit that we actually bid. Or finally, we might just want to disrupt them, take away space. Most people have really good structures of how to actually bid hands when they're opening and they're having uncontested auctions. But if you get in the way and start taking away space from them, it becomes a lot harder. So those are the 5 reasons. It's our hand, we want to compete, we might want to sacrifice, we want to get the lead, or we want to disrupt them and take away space. Okay, so here 2 spades actually does all 5 things that we want to achieve. It wants to take away space from the opponents, it allows us to try and compete, it tells partner whether we want to sacrifice or not, leaves it up to them. It might be our hand, so we might just buy the contract or make 2 spades. So all 5 reasons are actually covered here, so a definite 2 spade bid here. Okay, so here again, let's give us a 1 heart opening. So this time we've got 17 points, and this hand actually fits into 2 categories about what we could actually do. So if we look at our different options, we could either make a takeout double, or we could actually bid 1 no trump, showing 15 to 18 points with a balanced hand. And it fits into 2 categories. And to choose what we actually want to do, you want to look back and look at the objectives, and then I'll give you a little hint about what someone, a good player from New Zealand, suggested to me. So here it definitely fits both categories, but double doesn't take away space from the opponent, so it doesn't actually disrupt them. 1 no trump takes away space from them, so 1 no trump has more of a disrupting factor than a takeout double. If it's our hand, both give quite good descriptions of the hand and allow us to find a good part score. But I find 1 no trump is more effective at describing our point range. Gives partner a better idea about that precise part of it. But it makes it a bit harder to get to clubs or diamonds if we actually want to try and play there. So both of these they're both very close to it, but what I would actually do would be to double on this hand. And this comes down to my holding in hearts. Ace doubleton's not a very good holding for trying to stop the suit. Yes, it will stop the suit once, but the difference between ace doubleton and ace third is ace third you can hold up the ace until the 3rd round and maybe cut the communication between the hands. Whereas ace doubleton, you can only hold up once and you're very unlikely to cut communication, or at least less likely. So by doubling, I bring all the suits into the picture, but I think it's very close between the 2. But ace doubleton, if that's my holding, I tend to lean towards making a takeout double. Otherwise, my general rule is to try and overcall no trumps, because it ticks most of the other boxes that we want to try and do. It's just that my holding in hearts worries me. If it was king doubleton heart, I would actually overcall a no trump rather than making a takeout double. Still, it's going to stop the suit, but ace doubleton plays really well in suit contracts. King doubleton plays better in no trumps, for instance. So here on this one I would make it takeout double, but my general rule with these is if it fits into a no trump category, I usually try and overcall that, but you want to look at your holding in the suit. So here I would make a takeout double, although it is extremely close, and I think both are really good options. Okay, this next one, it looks very similar to the first hand, except we've changed our suit. And this, I just wanted to highlight the effect of overcalling spades versus overcalling diamonds. Bidding spades is really, really powerful because that is the boss suit. You can win, like if it's your hand, you can win the contract at a lower level than the opponents. If they want to play in hearts and we want to play in spades, then we can play 2 spades and they can't play 2 hearts, so they have to go up to the higher level. Whereas when I've got diamonds, if they want to play in 2 hearts, I have to go to 3 diamonds, and if they want to go to 3 hearts, I now have to bid to the 4 level to overtake them. So this suit's, like, having not the boss suit makes it a little less effective for competing or it being our hand, but this is still a really good suit, and I want to disrupt the opponents, tell my partner to lead it, and it could still be our hand. But to do this, I would jump to 3 diamonds rather than overcalling 2 diamonds, because 2 diamonds, this hand is not strong enough for that. Excuse me. Okay, this next one I have a flat 13 count, and when they open 1 heart, what do I want to do with this? Well, this is a really tricky hand. I've got a hand that would have opened, but it doesn't fit into any of the criteria of what I want to describe when I'm overcalling. If you bid a suit, you're showing a 5-card suit. If you bid no trumps, you're showing 15 to 18 points with a balanced hand. If you make a double, you're showing a shortage in their suit and all the other suits. So I don't actually have any bid that's appropriate for this. So I personally would pass on this. If you did want to stretch into something, double would be the closest option, but usually I'd want 4 spades before I'm really bothering to do this. But there are definitely hands where you would open but don't have any appropriate overcall. So on this one, I think it's perfectly reasonable to just pass this one. Okay, this time when they open 1 heart, we have 13 high card points, 2, 4, 5, 2. This I think is just good enough for a 2 diamond overcall. So when you overcall at the 2 level, what you're really trying to show is you'll have quite a good suit. You tend to have like 12 or more points. You usually have a 6-card suit to actually overcall, or a really good 5-card suit. So when you have a 5-card suit like this, you want quite good suit quality. Because when you're at the 2 level, it's starting to become a bit more dangerous. The risk versus reward. They can start doubling you quite effectively at the 2 level. At the 1 level, it's a lot harder for them to try and penalize you effectively. So here, if you're overcalling a 5-card suit, you want it to be a good 5-card suit. If you moved, say, my ace king of diamonds into clubs or hearts or something like that, I would not be overcalling this, even if I had 13 points and like queen to 5 diamonds. The suit quality wouldn't be there for me to actually want to be overcalling that. This here, definitely fine to overcall 2 diamonds though. Usually you do want 6 cards for the minor, but you can't always have that. So if you have only 5, you want really good suit quality. And again, notice bidding 2 diamonds does take away space from the opponent. If your partner is on lead, they'll get a good lead. So it comes back to those rules, what you're trying to achieve, and it does those 2 really well. It might be our hand, but competing in diamonds, as we mentioned before, is more difficult than if you're competing in the boss suit. Okay, so this next one, if they open 1 diamond, what do we do with this hand? We've got a good 5-card suit, and we've got a hand that either fits into the category of overcalling our 5-card suit or making a takeout double. Now here, what I would do is make a takeout double. My general rule is if I have a 5-card minor, I will make the takeout double rather than overcalling the suit. Whereas if I have a 5-card major, then I will overcall my major, because once you make the takeout double, it's too hard to show your 5th card in the major, whereas you can overcall your major and sometimes make a takeout double later. So here I would make the takeout double. I'm happy to forget about showing my 5th club here, so double's fine, and if they get to 2 diamonds, I'd probably double again to say I still am happy to compete. So double's a really descriptive call that brings your partner into it, and it's very effective for trying to find the right contract to actually compete in. And if it's our hand, we actually find the right suit. So double's very effective when it's trying to bring your partner into the picture to find the right spot to actually play in. So again, if you have a 5-card minor, it's better to make a takeout double if it fits into the overcall or takeout double approach. And if you've got a 5-card major, then I tend to overcall the major. Okay, so here they open 1 diamond, and we have a 3-3-2-5, and we have 15 high card points. We have a balanced hand. We kind of fit into 3 categories this time. We could overcall 2 clubs, we could kind of bid 1 no trump, and we could also make a takeout double. So first of all, 1 no trump isn't a good bid because we don't have a stopper in diamonds, whereas if you moved one of your cards into diamonds, then yes, I would be bidding 1 no trump on this hand. But without the stopper in diamonds, I'm going to rule out 1 no trump. So next it's, do we overcall 2 clubs or do we make a takeout double? Now again, I would make a takeout double. Most people would overcall 2 clubs, but I want to bring partner into the picture, and competing in majors is much more effective than competing in minors. So double to try and suggest I'm happy with whatever you want to bid, that's good. And if we go back to the ideas, am I fussed if partner leads a spade, a heart, or a club? No, I'm happy for them to lead any of those suits. I have a good club suit, but any suit has good lead directing value. If my partner wants to compete, competing in majors is a lot more effective than competing in minors. So here, again, I would make a takeout double rather than bidding 2 clubs on this hand. 2 clubs does have a good effect here, that bidding 2 clubs over 1 diamond takes away a lot of space. So it's good for the disruption factor, but I think double is quite good for bringing all the suits into play to encourage partner to actually compete. So here, if partner opens if the opponents open 1 diamond, and we've got 12 points, we've got 4 spades and 5 hearts. Rather than making a takeout double, I would actually bid 1 heart to start off with, and I might follow up with a takeout double later to try and bring spades into the picture. But with a 5-card major, I like to overcall it, because if you start with a double, you can't really show your 5th card in the major to start off with. So here, I think you definitely should be bidding 1 heart rather than making a takeout double. So next is if they open 1 heart again. This time we have 16 high card points and a 4-2-3-4. So we fit into 2 categories this time. We could either make a takeout double or we could bid 1 no trump. Last time I suggested making the takeout double when we had ace doubleton heart, but this holding is much better for trying to bid no trumps, and if you can bid a no trump, it's usually the right bid. So here I would bid 1 no trump to say, yes, this is where I want to play. Describes your hand, gives your partner a fantastic description of your points and your shape. So I would come in here with 1 no trump because I've got a good holding in hearts. And yeah, so when you can either make a takeout double or bid no trumps, it's usually right to bid no trumps. But check your holding in their suit. Ace doubleton is a holding I don't like. If I don't have a stopper, I'd also lean towards making the takeout double. But here, ace queen doubleton, king doubleton, things like that, they're fantastic for bidding no trumps. And then the last one that I wanted to actually describe is when it goes 1 heart and we have a choice of, do we overcall a no trump or do we bid a spade? Again, bidding no trumps is a fantastic tool. It gives this partner such a good description of your hand. They know exactly how high they want to go and usually what suit they want to play in. We will leave the spade suit out, but I've got, like, it's such a good descriptive bid that I love to bid a no trump. There are some rare cases where you will get to show 5 spades. Like it might go 2 hearts, pass, pass, and you could then bid 2 spades or something like that. Where you get to actually show your 5-card spades in spots like that. But most of the time we're going to put the spades on the shelf. But if I can overcall a suit or bid a no trump, it is usually right to bid 1 no trump. So these were my general guidelines for overcalling choosing the right overcall. So we had those 5 objectives, which is it might be our hand, we might want to compete, we might want to sacrifice, we want to tell partner what to lead, and we want to disrupt the opponents and try and take away space. They're the 5 objectives, and then you have to weigh up your options. Do I make a takeout double, or do I overcall a suit? Do I overcall no trumps, or do I, which of the 3 options do you want to pick between them? If you've got a 5-card minor and the option to make a takeout double or bid your minor, I find it's usually right to make the takeout double. If you've got a 5-card major or could make a takeout double, I like to bid my major first. You can choose between bidding 1 no trump or making a takeout double or overcalling a suit. 1 no trump is usually the right bid, except when you're looking at holdings where you think you don't really want to try and play no trumps. If you've got a double stopper, or if you basically if you got anything other than ace doubleton, I tend to like overcalling no trumps rather than making my takeout double or bidding a suit if that's the other option that I'm trying to weigh up. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this lesson on overcalls, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.